Hey guys, Hector here, and today is September 11th, 2015, and so in this video I kind of wanted to talk about my memories and thoughts and all that stuff of September 11th, 2001. You know, it was a huge terrorist attack on the United States 14 years ago, and 14 years later we're still kind of talking about it, we're still remembering it. It's kind of like a holiday now, not a fun holiday, but like a remembrance type holiday. And for some reason, they started calling it Patriots Day. I don't remember when exactly. I think it was like in the mid-2000s or something. I don't know why they would call it Patriots Day if it's a day where we got attacked or something. But I don't know. We didn't vote on it. They just decided to name it that. Whatever. So September 11th, 2001, I was 14 years old and a freshman in high school. And I don't know how, but... So we live on the West Coast, California, West Coast of the United States. All the stuff happened on the East Coast. So I think it happened around 7 a.m. to around 10 a.m. Somewhere around there, I think. So it was about 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. in our time. So we were sleeping or getting ready for school and then going to school. Me and then my two older sisters who are just 1 year older. And then my parents went to work. We didn't turn on, I guess we didn't turn on any television set. We didn't turn on any radio. We usually turn on the TV and check the news for the weather or something. But that day, I guess, I don't remember why, but we just didn't check it. Maybe my parents checked it and didn't tell us, but we just got ready, went to school, and nobody at school was talking about it until about 4th or 5th period. So it was like afternoon time, California time. My Spanish teacher, I was in Spanish class, I think it was 5th period. She wheeled in a TV and we were like, you know, what the heck's going on? She turned it on, she turned it to the news, and she's like, haven't you guys heard what's going on in the news? And I was like, no, I didn't hear nothing. Nobody else heard anything. And so we just started watching all this news coverage about, you know, the towers getting hit and the airplanes and all that stuff. And I just remember I kept thinking, like, is this a dream? Like, it felt like a dream. Like, this couldn't be real. Like, how could somebody attack the United States, you know? But, you know, the next day went on and the next day went on, and it still kind of felt like a dream, but, you know, it was still kind of reality sinking in. Of course, I didn't know anybody in New York City at that time. I didn't know anybody who died anywhere, in any of the airplanes, in the towers, and anything like that. So I guess it didn't affect me as much as it affected people living in New York City, or people who had family members or friends who died in the towers or in the airplanes or anything like that. So I can definitely understand people 14 years later being affected emotionally if they knew somebody who, you know, was affected, who died, or if they lived in New York City. But anybody else, I'm not entirely sure why somebody would still get upset or emotional 14 years later. I might sound cold-hearted, but I'm just like, you know, 14 years later, if you don't know anybody or if you weren't directly involved, should you still get emotional or upset about this? I don't know, maybe it's just me. And I'm not, you know, I wasn't just in some backwater town. I live in a town called Lodi, California, and a few years back, they actually, the FBI came and arrested somebody who they said, well, I think it was a group of people who they said were involved in some Islamic extremist terrorist group. I don't remember if it was Al-Qaeda or the Taliban or what else, and I don't even know if they actually prosecuted them. I'm not sure what happened afterwards. I know they just went in, got them, arrested them, and it was all in the news and all that stuff. But I don't know what happened after that. So even after all that, I still am not the type of person who am a hater against Muslims and stuff like that. You know, I know there still are people. I believe in the news today, they said that some guy in New York City just attacked somebody because, you know, he was Muslim, or I don't even think he was Muslim. I think he was like a sheikh or something. But he just attacked him and started saying he was Bin Laden or something. I don't know. He must have been mentally unstable, but there are still a bunch of people. I even have friends and some family members who are still kind of hateful against Muslims. And I'm just thinking, why, you know? Well, I guess the only answer is they're just not educated enough. And I kind of wanted to talk more about religions in another video, but I'm not entirely sure if I want to open up that can of worms. You can leave a comment telling me if I should talk about that sort of stuff. So that's pretty much it. Just my memory, my recollection of September 11th, 2001, 14 years ago. And as I said, I just didn't get really politically active until many, many years later. Well, 5 to 7 years later, I guess. And the first time I remember getting just a little bit politically active is because the economy was really taking a hit, and we just kept going into all these wars with Afghanistan and Iraq, and I was just like, we need that money here. We don't need to keep raging wars or whatever. And when a lot of people felt like we were in a recession before 2008, before the whole stock market crashed, before the economy crashed all around the world, in the United States back in like 2006, and I even think maybe a little bit in 2005, people were still feeling it, and they were saying that we were in a recession, but it wasn't officially a recession until 2008. So that's about it. That's all I want to say. And but I did ask my 14-year-old niece. She is 14 years old this year. I asked her a little questionnaire of what she thought about 9/11 and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to see that video, I will leave a link in the description, and you can check that out. But do not hate on her, because again, she's just 14 years old. I didn't know anything back then. So yeah, that's it. Thumbs up this video if you liked it, I guess. And subscribe if you want to see other videos, kind of vloggy videos, usually my own opinions, but they kind of have an American twist on them since, you know, I'm an American. I live in the United States, born and raised, and so I might have a little American slant, I guess. And of course, they're not just all opinions. Sometimes I talk about American holidays and give a little information on like that. So yeah, that's it. Subscribe if you want to see all that stuff. See you guys later.